in America. Very simple, and I'm sure all you guys heard this growing up. We're taught if you want to be successful, you need to go to school, get good grades, and go to college. Then you go to college, you get more good grades, so you can go out there and get that good job. And if you work that good job really, really hard, if you show up early and stay late, that you can grow up wealthy and successful. That's what they told us, and that's what we did. So after graduating from Tri-Cities High School right here in Atlanta, I attended Clark Atlanta University, where I got me a degree in business, and I went out and I got that good job. And humbly, I would never complain about anything that me and my wife have. I love to tell people I feel we're very blessed. And I say we're blessed because we had food on the table. We had cars in the driveway, and we had a roof over our head. So we're blessed. Because even in America, you guys, this is the richest country in the world. Some people don't even have that. But we did get to the point where the lifestyle had caught up with the income. So no matter how hard I worked, I found myself living check to check, and even some months living check behind the check. So I don't know if you guys can relate to that, but that's the situation I was in, and I was frustrated because in my mind I could never figure out how am I going to ever get ahead if I'm barely keeping up. So I just happened to be not only the place where I was looking, but I was praying. I was literally praying that God would show me something to help me take my family to the next level of life. And luckily he put me in the right industry, but more importantly, he put me around the right people. People that can really show me and teach me how to create success. So what we're going to do this evening is we're going to have a very, very similar conversation. And at the end of this conversation, we're going to see eye to eye, we're going to lock arms, we're going to bless a whole lot of people, and we're going to make some money together. Or at the very least, I'm going to give you guys some great ideas on things you can do for you and your family to help put yourself in a better financial situation. So either way, that sounds like a win-win situation either way, okay? So let me jump right into this because a lot of the information that we shared was information that I was kind of familiar with. Because in order to create that financial success that we're all looking for, because this is the one thing that I realized, no matter what we do for a living, we all have one very common objective, and that's financial success. But there are 4 challenges that keep us from this financial success. And if you're not familiar with these 4 challenges, let me help you guys out, because if you don't overcome these 4, you will never create that level of success that you're looking for. So one of them is a word called inflation. I'm sure you guys are familiar with that. The second one are taxes. The third is debt. And the fourth one is big business. Those are the 4 challenges that we have to overcome to create financial success. And the thing about the time that we're living in right now during this pandemic time is the fact that those 4 things have been elevated times 5 based on what we have to overcome. So let's just talk about real quick. Let's talk about inflation. Because inflation is really simple. We call that the silent income killer, right? Mm-hmm. Because how inflation works is the fact that the cost of living increases just a little bit every single day. And right now, because we have the pandemic, we have to understand that business owners dictate the price of goods and services in our country. So when they have times where they need to earn more money just to cover their expenses they've missed for the last 2 or 3 months, prices are going to increase. So what we have to do is put our money and our income in a situation that increases as fast as the rate of inflation. All right? Now, challenge number 2 is the biggest expense that we all have to pay. It's a word called taxes. All right? Taxes actually takes the first 1/3 of your income, goes off the taxes. So imagine this. Imagine if you earn $100,000 a year. That means you're paying $30,000 in taxes. That's a lot of money. And this is what we have to all understand, is that taxes are going to increase. And the reason we know they're going to increase is because the government just gave away over $2 trillion. $2 trillion in stimulus money. So what we have to understand is that the government is not a business. The only way they make money is by collecting taxes, and they collect taxes from us. So we know that number is going to go up. The third challenge is debt. Now, of course, debt has already become part of our natural lifestyle. Just think about this, you guys. If you want to buy a house, but you don't have the money, don't worry about it. Get a mortgage. That's what everybody does. If you want to buy a car and you don't have the money, don't worry about it. Get a loan. If you want to go to college and you don't have the money, don't worry about it. Get a loan. If you
Right.
want to buy those shoes and you can't afford it right now, don't worry about it. Put it on the credit card. Pay it off later, right? That's the mentality that we've been programmed with ever since I hit 18 years old. My first week of college, there was a Discover booth on the college campus pushing credit cards off to us, right? So this is what I got to understand. What that Discover booth realizes after they gave me that credit card, they discovered I didn't have a job. Then they discovered I didn't live in the address they kept sending the bill to, right? So we've all got caught up in that bill or debt accumulation. And even right now, even people that are very financially responsible having big challenges because they have to live off the credit card. Because of the pandemic, they're not allowed to go to work, and we're not allowed to earn money the way we used to. All right? And then last, we have big business. That's challenge number 4. And the way big business is affecting us the most is because all of us that have been taught to invest, because we all know we need to invest. We invest in our 401k plan, right? Either 401k or thrift savings or whatever they have at your job that helps set you up for retirement. What we have to understand is the 401k is attached to the stock market. So when the stock market took a crash 3 weeks ago, so did everyone's 401k. Not some people, everyone's 401k took the exact same hit. I'll be totally transparent. I took like an $80,000 hit in like 2 weeks. It's rough, right? Looking at that account is rough. But luckily, I'm at an age where I know the stock market will bounce back. I just got to be able to ride it out. But some people are not in the same boat. Some people are looking to retire next year. Some people are looking to retire in the next 5 years. So what we're going to teach you guys is how to put your money in places that grows and doesn't take the hit that the stock market does. All right? Now, I'm not talking about these things. Yeah.
So, Chuck, so that we can tailor our conversation for the folks that are listening today, let's just ask the question and see what areas, out of the things that you talked about, people have the biggest interest in changing.
Yes.
So if you're listening, I'm going to launch a poll real quick. And on the poll, we don't have a lot of time because we got to keep this moving. Just let us know so that as we present, we share the things that are most interesting to you. Which area are you most interested in changing in your life? We'll let this run for, let's call it 30 seconds. So we're at 16 seconds. We got 424 respondents. Come on, get your votes in so that we talk to you about what matters to you. There's no need for us to talk about the things that don't matter to you. Okay, lower my bills, get out of debt, keep more of my money, make more money, increase, all of the above, all of the above. All right, we have 30 seconds exactly. We're at 62% have voted. I'm gonna give you 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here's our results so far, Chuck. This is what we're looking at. This is who we need to talk to.
Wow, look at
You
that.
see the
Look at that.
results?
All of the above. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Okay.
So we're going to talk about lowering bills, keeping more money, getting out of debt, increasing investment income.
Perfect. Okay. And this is a great, okay, can I close this?
Yep, it should be closing now.
Bam. Yep, there we go. Okay. So, wow. So all of you guys are feeling the exact same frustration that even myself, because this is the thing we got to realize. We're all going through the exact same storm. All of us. It's not just coming down on your house, on your city, on your state. The pandemic is a worldwide thing. But this is what I want you guys to understand. In this pandemic, everybody is not losing. Oh, you got to realize that. Everybody's not losing. It's some companies that's doing phenomenal during this particular time. Let me give you an example. Do you guys think Amazon right now is losing when it comes to making money during the pandemic?
Not at all.
Right? How about Walmart? Do you think they're losing?
Not at all.
Right? Companies like, how about FedEx? Do you think they're losing?
Nope.
Right? Matter of fact, I just saw an advertisement. UPS is still hiring right now to handle all of the traffic that they're having.
Wow.
So let me tell you why these companies are winning. One, they're positioned properly. That's very, very key. But two, they're solving a problem. Anyone that's a successful entrepreneur would say if you can solve a problem that the masses have, you can create a great business for yourself. So what we're going to share with you guys is a way that you can help a lot of people solve these 4 particular challenges. Because this is what we have to realize, that everybody's going through this right now. So when it comes to how do we solve the problem, number one, the first thing that we have to have is we have to have a home-based business. Let's just be real. 70% of the country is at home, okay? Yep. And what they realize is that at this particular point in time, that this might be the new norm. Even though cities and states are opening back up, every job is not calling everybody back. They cannot afford to. They cannot afford to call you back right now. So what we have to figure out is how can we make money, because that stimulus money was gone the week they got it. So that's been spent. I don't know how they thought $1,200 was going to cover a monthly expense, but it helped. What we're going to do right now is show you how you can make additional income working from home. Mm-hmm. The second thing a home-based business does, it helps you be tax efficient. Because whether we're in a pandemic or whether we're not in a pandemic, we all have a light bill, yes or yes. Yes. Right? Matter of fact, if you have a light bill that you had to pay this month, give me the thumbs up. Right? If a bill came to your house for your water bill, give me the thumbs up. Right? If you're not, it's a reaction button. Just hit the reaction button at the bottom of the screen. Right? If you had a light bill, a cell phone bill that you had to pay, give me the thumbs up. This is the thing. Bills keep coming regardless of the economy. But if you have a home-based business, you get an opportunity to write those bills off as business expenses. This is key. This is what we have to understand about our economy and how our capitalistic economy works. As business owners, you get different tax deductions. So as a consumer, you get about 9, maybe 8 or 9 deductions. As a business owner, you get over 475 deductions. So we're going to show you how to have a home-based business, and you're able to write off a percentage of your home. That means a percentage of your mortgage or rent, light bill, water bill, gas bill. All these bills you're paying right now anyway can now be tax deductions. So we're going to help you be tax efficient by simply writing off your lifestyle and things that you're currently doing, okay? So that's number one. Now, the second thing we're going to do is help you leverage things that we now all have access to. One of those things is technology. Because we have these devices, our smartphones, we all now have access to technology. As a matter of fact, we're speaking through a technology right now called Zoom. Right? Zoom is an app that anybody can get for free. The second thing we're going to help you leverage is social media. We're all staying connected with our friends, our families, and our coworkers, peers, all through social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, however you stay connected with people. So not only are we going to teach you how to leverage that, we're going to teach you how to monetize that, how to actually make money through things that you now have access to anyway. And the service that we're going to provide, because the key, remember, to create success in this kind of economy, you have to solve a problem. The problem that we're going to help people solve is one that's very simple and one that's very needed in our community. It's financial education. We have a team of financial experts that we now have access to help people with financial education. And let me talk to you guys about why we actually chose this particular field, right? So as we're looking on the line right now, we have 25 people on the call right now. Out of the 25 people that are here, all of us have different backgrounds. All of us have different occupations. All of us have different goals, different dreams. But we all have one very common objective. At the end of the day, we all want to be successful financially. Yep. If that's you, right? If that's you, I want you to give me the thumbs up. At the end of the day, you want to be successful financially. Give me the thumbs up. You can even put it in the comment section, right? We want to see people that want to win. Because that means, look, okay, I see a few. I see a few more. There we go. See, this is what it shows me, you guys. That means we understand we're not just here to work, pay bills, and die. That there's something else that we want to get out of life, and it takes a little bit of finances to help us through that process. So with our financial with our opportunity that we partner with the company called MWR Financial. You guys can write that down. That stands for Making Wealth Real Financial. They offer a financial edge membership. And this membership gives us access to things to work us through a strategy called income shifting. Now, if you're not familiar with income shifting, it's pretty simple. It's a strategy to shift your money back into your pocket. Because there are several things taking money out of your pocket right now, and the income shifting or the MWR strategies help you keep that money in your pocket. So let me show you exactly what comes with the membership. So this is the MWR Financial membership. It's called Financial Edge. When it comes to income shifting, the first thing we have to do is going to help you increase your cash flow. The second thing is going to help you generate business income. And the third thing is to generate investment income. Okay? The MWR Financial membership walks you through this process. So how do we increase cash flow? 3 ways. We're going to help you minimize your taxes. We're going to help you minimize your debt, and we're going to help you minimize expenses. Whew. When those 3 things go down, your cash flow goes up. Now, the question becomes, how do we minimize taxes, Mr. Hardon? Everybody got to pay taxes, and you're right. Everyone does. But what most people are doing are overpaying taxes. So we don't believe in tax evasion. We don't believe it. We don't teach it. We don't even understand tax evasion. What we're going to teach is how to be tax efficient, to only pay what you owe and not a dime more. So the way we do that is we use our Money Max system, which is our tax reduction strategy. And this particular strategy helps you become tax efficient. You get unlimited access to certified financial planners. You get unlimited access to CPAs, to people that are certified with the IRS to help you become tax efficient. And one of the strategies they're going to teach you is how to properly adjust your W-4. Now, you might not be familiar with the W-4. You're probably more familiar with the term the W-2. But if you receive a W-2, that means you have a W-4 on file with your job. And the IRS has shared with us that 88% of the country has that form filled out incorrectly. So what we're going to do is help you get that form filled out correctly to put more money back on your paycheck. All right? And I know we have a few people on the line because I truly believe that documentation beats conversation every day. I'm going to ask someone to give me a testimony just on how it worked when they adjusted their W-4 to get money back on their paycheck. As a matter of fact, I see a gentleman on the line. I heard him speak earlier, Mr. Anthony Clemens. This gentleman's down in Albany, Georgia. And I know he went through the process of adjusting his W-4. Mr. Clemens, are you available to speak, sir? Can I unmute you? Let me see here. You might need to unmute yourself.
I have. Can you hear me?
There you go. Yes, sir, I can hear you, sir. Awesome, sir. Anthony, do me a favor. Why don't you just let everybody know how it worked when you got the right information on your W-4 and what that was able to do for you and your family to help you get that instant pay raise?
Well, one of the things they asked me to do is to fill out my W-4, and they helped me with that. And long story short, after I filled it out and turned it back into my HR, and the next time I got my check was $475 increase.
Oh, my goodness. Let's give it a, okay, hold on. So just so everybody understood what just happened, you got the right information on the W-4 and you fill that and you turn that form in at your job. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And then the next time you got paid, there was an increase of $475 on your paycheck from your job.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you, did you have to work any more hours for that $475?
No, sir.
No, okay. Did you have to sell any product to get that $475?
No, sir.
Okay. Did you have to recruit anybody to get that $475?
No, sir.
And it's been $475 ever since.
Yes, sir. That's what it's been all day. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for that testimony, sir. I got to say, I appreciate that, man. You blessing a lot of people, so keep doing your thing down there.
Yes,
right?
sir.
So this is what I want you guys to realize. That is an instant pay raise. Imagine how many people that you know right now that could use an extra 400, 200, and this is the thing I always got to be transparent. It's going to vary based on your situation. So you might not get $475 a month. Some people only got back about $200 a month, but some people got back about $600 a month. So based on your situation, any increase is an increase, okay? And that's just with one of the strategies. The second thing we're going to do is help you minimize your debt. Now, Equity Max system is our debt elimination strategy. Keyword is elimination, right? And this is not just talking about credit card debt. The way the program works is you input all of your debt into the Equity Max system, not just credit card debt. That's credit cards, car notes, mortgages, student loans, medical bills, anything that can be paid off, you put into the system. And they're going to systematically show you how to pay it off and pay it off in a reduced time frame. And I'm not just saying taking a 30-year mortgage down to 25 years. You can take a 30-year mortgage down to 12 years, down to 8 years based on your situation. So imagine this, you guys. Imagine if you made the exact same amount of money that you make right now, but you don't owe anybody anything. How much easier is life right then? Right? The new free is debt free in this country, okay? And then the third thing we're going to do is help you minimize your expenses. And the most consistent way to minimize your expenses is to increase your credit. Because when your credit score goes up, your interest rates go down. And our Credit Max system is our credit restoration program. Yes, we don't do credit repair. That's like putting a Band-Aid over a broken bone. We do credit restoration, where we help you rebuild and enhance your credit so not only that it goes up, but that it stays up, right? And I saw a gentleman on the line that actually went through this process. Me and him were talking earlier, and I see Mr. Javon Rowland. Mr. Javon, are you available to speak, sir?
What's going on, Chuck?
Man, doing better than amazing, my brother. How are you, sir?
Man, I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling great.
Awesome. Do me a quick favor, Javon. Why don't you share with them just how it worked when you started working with the Credit Restoration Program and Credit Max and what it did for you and your family?
Man, the Credit Max, man, is one of my favorite pillars, man, because it helped me increase my credit score. And all I did was do what the experts told me to do, and that was download my 3 credit reports and send it to them. So I did that at the end of November, and then 2 weeks later in December, my credit score increased 100 points. So we go ahead and we fast forward to January, and then my credit score shoots up another 73 points. So
okay.
Now we go ahead and we fast forward to March, it goes up another 35 points, and then we fast forward to 2 weeks ago, where it went up another 70 points. So my credit score increased 278 points within like a 5-month span.
Wow. Now, okay, that's incredible. So 200 and how many, 73 points?
78.
78 points in 5 months. Let's give them a round of applause for that. We got to get that up, you guys. Imagine how many people you know that's looking to buy a home, people that you know that need understanding of how that credit works. And this is the great thing with the credit. Javon, let me ask you a question. After you uploaded your credit reports, did you have to call the credit bureaus in order to get them to remove things from your credit?
Not at all, man. I just sent it to them, and when I got the letters in the mail, all I had to do was send the letters back to send a picture of the letters back to them, and they went to work again.
And that's the key, you guys. That's the key to this whole thing, is that we have access to the experts. I appreciate you, Javon. I appreciate that testimony, sir.
No problem.
So look, you guys, when it comes to it, we have experts to go to work for you. And then, of course, the last part of our Financial Edge membership is our Wealth Max. And I'm going to leave this Wealth Max, you guys, to really understand this is the end game that we all have to shoot for, regardless if you work with MWR, if you work with this organization or not. Because we all heard this phrase growing up. You should not work for money, but you should have money work for you. But no one has ever taken time to really teach us how to do that until now. Because Wealth Max is our wealth generation program where they actually teach you about investing. And they don't just teach us about the stock market. The stock market is great, But we all saw what happened to the stock market 3 weeks ago. They teach us things about the private reserve account. They teach us things about land banking, where you're able to purchase land in the path of growth. So if you ever wanted to get into real estate, but didn't want the headache of being a landlord, you have to learn about land banking, because it gives you an opportunity to be able to purchase land and not have to deal with all the headache that comes along with it. You guys, this is the game changer, because we now have access to that information, right? And we have experts to help us walk through this. Now, I know as I was going through this, you guys were kind of paying attention, but you was reading the bottom of the screen. If you invest $228 and $119 a month, right? You guys are focused on the investment. And this is why we put it up there, you guys. $228, $119 a month. We put it there because guess what? That's how much it cost. But guess what? That's all it cost. It just costs $228 to get started and $119 a month. Imagine you getting access to experts. Anything that you pay an expert, anything that you have access with an expert, you pay them. For example, for the ladies on the line, when you go to the beautician to get your hair done, you pay them for their expertise. If you do lawn care, right? If you get someone to do your lawn work, you pay them for their expertise, right? This is the exact same thing, right? We pay for the experts, but let me help you with this, the initial investment, because a lot of people are looking at it as though they're spending money, right? You're not spending money, you're investing money. Because when you invest in something, you're expecting a return on that investment. And if your return is higher than your investment, then you're in a win situation. So Mr. Anthony Clemens just shared with you that he pays $119 a month for his MWR business. And because he has an MWR business, he not only does he have access to the experts, he now gets an additional $487 from his job. So look, you guys, I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. I'll go ahead and share with you that. That's my brother's gift. He was a smart one in the family. Okay, that's my brother's gift. Okay, me, but I know if I could pay $119 a month and I can get back $487 the next month, that's a win-win situation all day, every day. And that's just one strategy that we use. But also, the 228 starts your MWR business. So this is where we're going to have a pivot in the conversation, because everything I've shared with you guys, we can admit that we know people that need this information. As a matter of fact, let me take a quick look. If you know someone that could use help with their credit and increasing their credit and would love somebody else to do it for them, let me get the thumbs up. Let me see if we know people that need that kind of information, right? If you know people that need an instant pay raise and would love an expert to help them with their process, let me get a thumbs up. Let me see. How about this? If you know someone that would love a systematic way of paying off their debt in a reduced time frame, let me get a thumbs up. Okay. So we all agree that we know people that need this. This is the great thing about what MWR does. They give us a way of sharing this information with individuals, and they will pay you just for sharing the information. Because not only does 228 and the 119 a month give you access to the membership, that also starts your MWR business. Yes, we are a business. You get the benefits of having a home-based business, but you also get an ability to generate additional income. Now, what I'm excited about is I get a chance to pass the microphone to a person that's going to share with you exactly how we make money with MWR. Because what a lot of you guys are thinking is, I love what you guys are sharing, but what is the business? What do we do? What is our business? All we do is we share information with individuals. We share how capitalism works and how Financial Edge membership can help anyone through this process. Right? So do me a favor. As a matter of fact, look at the person that invited you to the call right now. Go ahead, they're on the screen, take a look at them. Yep. Other than me, if it wasn't me, right? But other than that, take a look at them, right? What is that person doing right now?
Nothing.
Let me tell you. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Right? They're doing absolutely nothing. They're learning how to build a business by watching someone else give a presentation. Can you do that? Can you invite someone else to a webinar and let someone else explain the business for you? That is part of our system. And if they decide to get started, MWR will compensate you just for sharing this information with you. And they compensate us very, very well. And the gentleman that's going to share this compensation with you is meticulous about not only knowing the numbers, but helping individuals earn these numbers. Right? He's already had success in helping a lot of people earn executive positions. He's like days away from the next executive position and setting records in what we do. I love him dearly because, of course, he's my big brother, but I have so much respect for him because he's my partner in business. So you guys do me a favor and help me bring back to the line Mr. Richard Hardon to help explain our comp plan and exactly how we get paid. If you want to see the money, just type in the chat, show me the money. Just let me see that.
Let's see who wants to see the money. Let's see who wants to see the money. I'm looking at the chat to check to see who's in for additional income. And as I talk about the money part of our conversation, I want to put money in context. Money isn't everything.
It's not everything.
It's not everything. But what determines where we live?
Money.
What determines the quality of education our children receive?
That would be money.
Quality of health care?
Money.
Fellas, if she stays with you. I'm having fun, but I'm serious. Money's not everything, but it ranks right up here next to oxygen. And if you don't have money in the right proportions, it can be difficult to breathe. And especially as we think about all the protests going on in our country, a lot has to do with injustice, but a lot has to do with money.
Mm-hmm.
With disproportionate access, with people out there frustrated, angry, not knowing how to get what they want legally. So as we start talking about money today, I want you to think about where we live today and how many people need to know how to control their destiny. Because once you're in control, you're not frustrated the same way. Once we make wealth real, once we close this wealth gap, that's when we get we don't want to sit at the table. We're building our own table together. So before I get started sharing the money, I would be remiss if I didn't give proper homage back to the person that showed me how the money works in this comp plan. Because believe it or not, that young man that was talking to you before, he is the #1 recruiter in the history of this company. He's built an incredible business. And you gotta know what it's like to be a big brother being proud of your little brother. So before I get started, y'all give it back one more time. Give it up for Chuck Hardon for talking about the situation that we're in, how we solve the problem, and just allowing me to share how they pay us for what we're doing. Because here's the first question you got to ask yourself. And let me stay out of slides for a minute and just talk real talk to you. Did what Chuck shared so far make sense to you? If it did, type in here, yes. So you can take out your mic off mute. We can talk. We're in a room together. If it made sense, just let me know that it made sense. Now, here's the question. If it makes sense to you, do you think it'll make sense to somebody you know?
Yep.
And if it'll make sense, it'll make dollars. That's what we always learn. If it makes sense, it'll make dollars. So as I share the compensation plan, just think in context of the worst thing that someone could do is learn something that helps them do better with the money that comes into their house. But the best thing that they could do is actually make wealth real. And so that we're talking in the same terms, let me give you my definition of wealth. Well, it's not even mine. It's from Robert Kiyosaki. How many of you read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad? He said that wealth isn't a measure of the amount of dollars you have. It's the amount of time you have to live from the dollars you have. So by definition, if we want to make wealth real for you, all we got to do is figure out how much money you have to make without going to work ever again. And by definition, you're wealthy. We've made wealth real for you and can show you how to make wealth real for some other people. Does that make sense? So as I go through, I'm going to show you a lot of numbers. I'll show you a lot of things. Let me know when I show you the number that makes wealth real for you. Am I making sense so far? Chuck, can you see my screen?
I can.
All right. So Chuck shared with you already the concept of The private reserve account puts us in a place to take advantage of the eighth wonder of the world, have your money grow when the market grows and not lose money. That's your money making money. But for most people, to get to the place where you can invest in a private reserve account or land banking, the fact of the matter is we got to generate some additional income beyond what our jobs are doing. Yes or yes? Yep. So let's talk about how making wealth real makes this wealth real for you. So let's make the assumption that this over here is you. Now, I know you might not be a guy because I see there are a lot of ladies on this thing, and you might not wear a rayon shirt. But for today, this is you. You got started at the $228 that Chuck mentioned, and you shared the information with three people, Jenny, Lisa, and John. You liked it and they liked it as much as you did, and they decided to get started with you. When each of them gets started in business, the company pays you, they give you 3 points for that activity, and they pay you $50 each. Now, if you do that with a sense of urgency, in your first 30 days, they pay you an additional $150. And then just by getting one other customer, a total of $340 comes into your life and your business. Now, I do this up front just to let people know that in our first 30 to 60 days, our game plan is to make you more money than you invested. Because if you invested $228, but you made $340, you are now playing with house money. Everybody type that in the chat. House money, right? Now it doesn't have anything to do with your job or your bills. And then the best thing about this process is now you are qualified for a concept that we have in Making Wealth Real Financial for what they call a $5 daily residual pay. It's $150 every month. Now, let me ask you a question. Is $5 a lot of money? Wait, what did they say, Chuck? You see them in the chat? Is $5 a lot of money? What they say?
Still
okay,
house money.
It isn't a lot of money, but if it was $5 outside by your car tomorrow, would you pick it up?
Yep.
Yes, indeed.
And if it came the next day, would you do it again?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And would you do it the day after that?
Yes, sir.
If after 5 days in a row, that $5 was not missing, would you look for it?
Every day.
Every day.
But here's the advantage. It's $150 a month. It comes month after month after month, year after year, based on something you already did. See, most jobs pay you for what you do today, but the daily guarantee pays you for what you and some other people did. And now, at $150 a month, it pays you more than your website costs, and you've been promoted to executive director. It didn't take anybody's opinion of you. Nobody cared what you did or who liked you or who hated you. It's based on your effort and your sincere desire to help other people make money. Am I making sense?
Yep.
But now here's the goal. The goal isn't for you to just find 3 people and help them get started and change their lives financially. Each of those 3 people, John, Jenny, and Lisa, want to help build their business and get their bonuses. So as you help the 3 of them identify 3 people that see this the same way that you did, they each earn $340 and you earn an additional $450 as long as you do it in your first 60 days. And then by helping each of those people identify 3 people, you earn an additional $900 in upfront bonuses. But now if you count up the people, 3 plus 9 is 12.
Mm-hmm.
And then plus 27, we'll talk about that in a minute. But just as a matter of fact, let me stop right here because I realize that something has happened here, Chuck. Did you hear it?
I felt it.
It was that shift in the atmosphere where people started looking at it saying, well, you know, I don't know. This is different than what I've been taught to do. Like, I went to school. I got good grades. I got a good job. This sounds like one of those pyramid things.
Yep.
And I just say it so that you don't have to feel uncomfortable because we all said it at one point without realizing the subliminal programming and conditioning that was operating in the world. Because here's what's real. Every job I ever had, they told me I had to start at the bottom and work my way to the top. Yep. That I was 100% responsible for my income. But Ray Kroc, founder of McDonald's, said, I'd rather have 1% of 100 men's efforts than 100% of my own. That way, if I got hurt, if I got sick, if I died, 99% of the work is getting done. See, the nature of capitalism in America is all about leverage. We've just been so conditioned that we have to start at the bottom. But the book that I read says you're the head and not the tail. You're above and not beneath. Start at the top. Let's build your bottom. Let's get some leverage working in our lives so that we're not the only source of our income. Let's be capitalists, shall we?
Yep.
But proceeding. So as you think about this process, because now that you started to build your franchise, started to build your company, your enterprise, some amazing things start to happen within our company. Because now, after building to that position, we talked about the points earlier. Each individual that gets started represents a minimum number of points. And in MWR Financial, we have a concept called a daily guarantee. Type that in. Everybody say daily guarantee. You can earn anywhere from $5 to $1,000 a day, minimum guarantee. So we could actually stop the presentation and making wealth real right here. All you got to do is ask yourself, if you're guaranteed to make the amount of money that you make on a monthly basis, somewhere between $150,000 and $30,000 a day, all you got to know is how big to build it.
Right.
Right. So, and it's not just that this is a theory. It's not theory that we're working on here. It's real people. So as I go through in concept, in reality, these are people making this money. So Lieutenant Colonel Larry Stewart works in the U.S. Army, one of the highest ranking military officials in our country. But in addition to protecting our country, he's protecting his family by making sure that should something ever happen to him, there's still some guaranteed money coming in. Right now, he's at $900 a month, which is the $30 a day. Yaz Anderson, Yaz is right there on the call. Y'all see Yaz over there with the cute picture, but not well, our camera turned on. Yaz is a real estate investor. She teaches people how to invest in real estate, but she's also earning $20 a day, knowing that the last deal doesn't pay beyond the next deal. So making sure that there's always something happening on a daily basis, only days away from that next level. And then you got Mr. Richard Greer. He has a movement in our organization called Seniors on the Move. Richard is 73 years old, and everybody in his group is in that retired category, but decided that more essential than being a greeter at Walmart is being at home in safety, generating an extra $30 a day, $900 a month, supplementing his retirement income. Make sense?
Yep.
Kim Flynn, she owns a hair salon right around the corner from my house. But in addition to the salon, she also is now at the $30 a day. And Quana Sims, Charles Ivory was at $100 a day, just recently jumped to the $200 a day level. And the amazing thing about Charles, he was in one of those unique situations where the pandemic hit him in an unexpected way. He had a good job, but was furloughed in the middle of March. And because he started building his business before things got dire, he's making more money now than he was when he was at work. Now, the second way the company pays us is what they call a vehicle or mortgage payment, meaning there are different tiers of bonuses. Now, here's the good news. It's extra money. They don't require you to do anything different than you've done. They give you the money and you decide whether you want to buy a car or not. $500 a month, $1,250 a month, or $3,000 a month. Now, survey anybody out there with a car note under $500, just show of hands, put your thumbs up. I just want to know how much we need to make you to change your life.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now, if anybody could squeeze in their mortgage and their car payment for $3,000 a month, based on helping people be successful, just thumbs up. I just want to know that's you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's it's not only in the compensation plan, it's happening in people's lives and people that you have met directly. How many of you have seen this face before?
Hey.
That's my brother Chuck. Now, the good news about where Chuck is in the business right now, he's already at the $500 car bonus, on the way to $1,250, and they don't have a car note, but they're all able to put money aside for my niece's car. Does that make sense? How many of you have somebody you just want to bless once you get your stress released?
Yep.
Right? Cash flow Chrissy Howard, she's at the $1,250 bonus. Matter of fact, she just crossed over to the $3,000 car bonus. And then this is our actual sponsor in the business. We found out about Making Wealth Real Financial through this young man right here. His name is Brian Bean. And I can't wait to get you guys a chance to meet him directly because, of course, before he started with the company, he already had multiple cars with no car note. But if they're going to pay him the $3,000, he could find something to do with it. And he's doing a training event coming up this weekend to teach people his success systems. And if you have an opportunity, the good thing about what we do, it's okay to be a copycat. You just got to copy the right cat.
Say that.
And then the last bonus I'll talk about today, because I think I've shown you enough money, because we already talked about up to $1,000 a day in daily guaranteed leverage residual pay. Bonuses for cars and mortgages up to $3,000, and then a presidential bonus and matching bonus, meaning if somebody gets in your business and they're better than you, you'll always make at least half of what they make in bonus. Right? Anywhere from $500 a month up to $100,000 a month, just so that you know that what you want is available based on the number of people that you help to change their situations financially. Now, and I talked about this event. So again, remind me at the end of this presentation, because here's what's happening. We're building a wealth movement. Hang on, let me come out of this. We're not just talking about making money. We're making history with what we're doing right now. And to do that, most people need some training and support. If you weren't in business for yourself, by yourself before, now you get to be in business together with people that have been there and done the things that you've done that'll teach you step for step, word for word, how to build a business of your own. And this coming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's a 3-day online event. Normally, we would be live and in person, but from wherever you are in the world, you can join and learn, not depending on the person that invited you here today, but on the very best in the business as we break down the mindset, the changes that you need to make in your mind, the change you need to make in your activity to make the changes real in your life and to create wealth.
Mm-hmm.
So, Chuck, I think I'm done. I think we're at that point. How many of you can tell I've done a presentation maybe once before?
Yep.
Maybe. And at this point in our conversation, there's only ever 3 categories of people listening to what we've shared today. Category number 3 person says, you know what? Thanks, but no thanks. My money's flawless. I have all the money in the world, 0 debt. I don't need any help from the experts, and my legacy's already secure. If you're category number 3, I'm glad you stayed on to this point, and I just want you to refer to other people that are asking you how you got where you got, how they can get some help. Make sense? So if it's not for you, yeah, understood. Everything's not for everybody. If you're category number 2, that's a person that looks at it, heard everything that we had to share, and said, I want to get my house in order financially. I endorse that decision, meaning the best time to get your house in order is while we're all at home. If all you want to do is take advantage of the membership, we do have $79 available. If you only want to get the experts, Money Max, Credit Max, Equity Max, Wealth Max, maximize your income, your credit, and reduce your debt, increase your ownership, Financial Edge membership, $79 a month. Now, it doesn't give you access to any of the bonuses or additional income, but that's okay. And then category number 1 is like me and Chuck and our dad were when we saw it, when we finally saw and understood what was being offered. You get access to probably one of the best compensation structures in the world, 10 income streams, all of the Financial Edge processes, but most importantly, the ability to create an extra replacement or extraordinary income, all depending on how many people you help to succeed financially. So with that being said, let me ask you to do me a favor. At the end of this call, your job is pretty simple. All you need to do is let the person who invited you to this call know where you stand. Are you category 1? Ready to make some, not just make some money and make history, but change some lives, to change generational legacies. Category number 2, you want to get your finances, your house in order. Category number 3, it's not for you. Whatever category you're in, I endorse that decision. But if you have questions, the one thing I ask is that you own them. If you have questions, make sure to make an appointment with myself, Chuck, one of the experts on this call, to get all of your financial questions answered. Because the number one advice that my wealth advisor gave me was, at some point, if wealth is your goal, you got to stop taking your financial advice from broke people.
Yep.
So this is the season for change. We're excited and embrace the opportunity to build a movement to make wealth real for families around the world, to put people in a place where they're able to have a conversation that's about more than money, because they're on the other side of it. And if you ever get to the other side of money and you don't like it, you can always go back. With that being said, on behalf of my baby brother, Chuck Hardon, this is Richard Hardon, Richard and Bertie's biggest boy, saying it's been a plum pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege to share the income opportunity with you this evening. Get back with the person that invited you tonight, and we will see you on the beaches of the world or at the bank, whichever one you like the most. Good night, everybody.
Peace.
Good night.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Peace out.
Good night.
Great presentation. Thank you.